If you think you are enlightened, go and spend a week with your family. Ram Dass.
Sorry.
Hi, it's Melissa with my membership minute on Monday, November 23rd, 2015. Here's what's new and hot in your membership community this week. If you think you're enlightened, go and spend a week with your family. That's a quote by Ram Dass that got Tim laughing at the beginning. And this quote's been rolling around in my mind quite a lot this week with the coming of the American Thanksgiving on Thursday, November 23rd, 6th. And I've been thinking a lot about how I relate with this quote, or what I used to think Ram Dass meant by this quote. I'm not really sure what Ram Dass meant with it by this quote, but so I'm thinking a lot more about how I related to this quote. For a long time, I used this quote as a barometer for my own practice and my own self-worth. And each family holiday, I would go back to my family of origin and evaluate my self-worth depending on how well our visit went according to my appraisal of my experience. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this level of self-judging. So this holiday season with American Thanksgiving this Thursday, November 26th. And then as many of us head into holiday season in our Western Judeo-Christian culture, I'm choosing to look at this quote a little differently. Yoga means to yoke. It's about our relationship with ourselves and others. So yoga is relational. And so the way I'm choosing to relate to this Ram Dass quote is that our practice doesn't exist in a vacuum. Rather, that our practice is relational. And from my experience, of speaking to many people, especially the interviews that I've done with many of my students recently, those relations can be the place where our practice hits the biggest bumps in the road. So I'd love to invite you to join me at our motivational meetup this weekend when we will discuss how our practice can be a refuge for entering into relations with others, both their presence and their absence, because it's also at this time of year that we feel the absence of our loved ones the most as well. I know tomorrow's the anniversary of the death of my grandmother, and it's a time of year when we feel the anniversaries of the deaths of our loved ones the most as well. So I think that this meetup could be quite a powerful meetup for many of us. So speaking of interconnections as well, actually let me show you how to sign up for that. Sorry, getting emotional here. So if you go to our membership site, you don't even have to scroll, you go to the monthly motivational meetup. And just click here on the November 2015 motivational meetup. And I love it. Anna is a brand new member, and I'm loving seeing Anna get so involved already. She's got 5 posts already. She's wanting to get really involved. So here's how you sign up, Anna. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can sign up for option 1 or option 2, whichever one works best in your time zone. We give you some different options. We tell you what time they are in some popular time zones across the world. Or you can use this time zone converter here to see what time it is where you live. And then you just click, okay, so let's say option 1 works best for you. So you click here, and then you would sign up for that option. And then you will get all the information you need to log in on either the 4:30 p.m. Pacific on Friday, November 27th, which is actually Saturday for most places in the world, or the 8 a.m. Pacific, and this should be standard time now, Saturday, November 28th. So I really look forward to seeing many of you this weekend. Now, speaking of interconnections, our next tortoise pose class was released today, as we're releasing a class every Monday now. Rehydrating your connective tissue is all about those interconnections of the fascia between your whole body. And what we're doing with the connective tissue props, like the sophomore molar, and in this class we use this, the small squash ball as well, is increasing the health of those connections and getting rid of the adhesions, the parts where they're adhering to each other and causing undue compression and pain. So there are healthy connections and there are unhealthy connections. So, boy, there's a metaphor for life for you. So, these practices, I was just speaking with Alice this morning, are incredibly transformative. She and I talked about how, there's this physical transformation that takes place, but then there's also this emotional transformation that takes place because our body is ultimately more than just our physical body. So these transformations happen in all dimensions. And so I think it's really cool that as we're speaking about these relationships this week, we're talking about our interconnective tissue, our connective tissue, and making the connections between the fascia healthier. So I'll show you where that is in our membership community as well. If you come back to the forum and you scroll down past the daily section to the postures and pranayam section, and you go to the videos, it's in the tortoise pose section. And then you've got the tortoise pose connective tissue practices video, and you go right there. There's important things here about the props that you'll need for the class. There's a video here that tells you where to get the props. If you have a systemic illness such as fibromyalgia, any long-term illness, cancer, any nervous system illness, you need to watch this video first. And if you do have any of those issues, then we have a 6-week program for slowly introducing the connective tissue props, and all that is right there for you. And then there's a short video for you. Let's see how long that video ended up being. Oh, a little shortish. It's Melissa shortish, 38 minutes for you. Like, this video is short. This membership minute is going on for a few minutes. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you as we close this out. I just think Ulrika's planned the most amazing weekly challenge this week to prepare us for a motivational meetup. I watched her weekly challenge this morning, so I'll show you where it is here. And I thought it couldn't be more perfect as we head into our motivation meetup this weekend. To me, it allowed my heart to break wide open. I just want to show you her in beautiful Umeå, Switzerland this morning it was probably yesterday, as the snow came down in... It's snowing a lot. Look at that snow coming down in snowballs. And she's talking about our connection to nature there. And I find for me, and I know for many of you that I've spoken with too, that just allows us to open our hearts so easily to others. And so I think this is a beautiful way for us to ease into the holiday season too. And she's just given us so many tools over the last few weeks, and this is the final week of the weekly challenge with loving kindness. So do enjoy that. I'm sorry I've rambled on for so long, and I look forward to seeing so many of you this weekend for the motivational meetup, where we will go into depth on our relationships, and I look forward to your feedback on the new class that's been released this week as well. Namaste.